Where is it? Where's my tea? Oh, I'm wondering where my tea bag is. It's in my cup. Dear. Alright, it's me again. How's it going, guys? You alright? I'm not enjoying these jam and toast tea bags. I used to love them. I really want my biscuit brew. God knows when they'll arrive. John McCafferty said he'd send me some. I suppose I can bring some back next time I go to England. Tea smuggler. Right, so if you've supported Let's Make KopTalk TV great again recently and your name is not in the video description below, would you please email me, dunk@koptalk.com. I'm a bit behind on emails and things. I will get there, but I would appreciate if you have contributed that you email me just to let me know, and then I can make sure that your name's added. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look in the video description. Or you can go to www.koptalk.tv. Right. See, even the smell of that tea today is getting on my nerves. There's got to be some more somewhere. So, a few of you messaged me last night because this ITK, this infamous ITK on Twitter, who shall not be named, I don't like naming these people. You guys that are into all that nonsense will know. I would rather you didn't mention, when we talk about people or I allude to people, I'd rather you didn't mention them in the comments by name. One, it can, it can wind people up, and not when it's stuff like this, but when we're talking about supporters groups, or when you guys talk about other YouTube channels and things like that, I don't know. I'm too old to get caught up in arguments and things, so it's just a respectful request that we leave names out of the comment section because we all know who we're talking about, right? So this particular ITK account. Now, when it comes to Twitter ITKs, all right, I'm going to say something now I never say, and that's that I've been running KopTalk now for 25 years, right? And in that 25 years, you have to decide, does this, this chubby guy, this, all right, fat, whatever, does he know anything about what he's talking about? And in my defence, I would say, when you have had thousands and thousands and thousands of, hundreds of thousands over the years, if not millions, I don't know. People interact with your community, your website. We have a great members community. It's phenomenal, and over the years we've had club directors on there, we've had owners on there. I've worked with the club, I've worked against the club. I've been invited into the club many times. That doesn't mean that they tell you anything. You get to know journalists, you get to know fans and contractors, which probably so I would say some of the, you can know, when with these ITKs or people say, well, I know such and such at the club, and I do know people at the club. If they're a Liverpool fan, then they might share a bit of info with you every now and then, sometimes without even realising what they're saying. You can even say to someone that works at the club, what about this then? Blah, blah, blah. And just by the way they respond, you can go, yeah. They'll go, oh, no, I don't know anything about that HSBE. And I think, well, I didn't mention HSBE. Yeah, sometimes people drop stuff without even knowing. But yeah, I would never drop them in it. We've had, over the years, we've had pilots, flying private jets, big jumbo jets full of the entire club, and would send me the, email me the name of every single person on that flight, not just the players. Amazing stuff. And I'll talk about it one day in my infamous book that's been written for about 25 years. I've had people. Right, I'm going to change that. I'm going to say have and had people, because sometimes you could say had, which means past tense, and then if I said what position they worked in, someone listening to this at the club could go, what that is, don't you? So we're going to say have and had. People that work in property for the club, incoming transfers, outgoing transfers, people that do that are contracted to the club to provide things to players and their families when they're coming in. It can be something as simple as a player needs a laptop, to communicate and do voice things or whatever. So maybe the club have someone that deals with laptops that says, we need a new laptop for such and such. Trust me, it's up to you to determine, whether I can put myself into the category of knowing a few things or not. I still wouldn't call myself an ITK. I'm a fully grown man. I wouldn't. No, right? So I know what I know, and who I know from that network of sources, right, that I've built up over them decades. Now, because of that, this is how when I look at these so-called ITKs, and I think, how is it possible for you that's been on Twitter, and only Twitter, right, so you've never employed any of these people that I have employed, how is it possible for you to know more than me at every single club? Like, how is that possible? I couldn't tell you what's happening at Manchester United. Over the years, we've had bodyguards at Manchester United that have been Liverpool fans that have tipped me off with things, and you do get little bits of knowledge in that. But I have more respect for an ITK that focuses on one club, because then it's kind of a little bit like more interesting, maybe. But you've got to treat these accounts like, if you think of sport, we all love football, we love competitive sports. Then you've got the wrestling, the American wrestling. Is it WWE now? It was WWF when I was a kid, right? Which is all rigged and just drama, and it's theatre, right? So I would argue that these Twitter ITK accounts are the equivalent of that, right? And I actually think, like this account I'm going to reference now, I think that person is a genius in a marketing sense, because they just exist to make money and they lure so many people. It's wrong from a fan's point of view, but I'm sure they laugh like I laugh. They must laugh and go, can't believe people are commenting on this. It's amazing. Now, when you look at their profile on Twitter, it's got, reference to the contact details for business. So that's not just like, it's not fun, is it? Like trying to help you and participate in news and claims and stuff like that, whether they're telling the truth or not. And then it says 18 plus. Bet, gamble, aware. So in reference to betting, which means that account must push betting affiliation. So it's a commercial account. Always when you find these new accounts claiming to be things, just have a look and see if they're, if it is business orientated or not. Because I think that speaks volumes. But just if they don't think, oh well, that must be an account I can trust them, because they might be trying to build themselves up. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So I don't know. I just feel sorry for the younger fans sometimes. And the thick fans. So, you've got to decide whether I would be. I don't know. I don't care. I don't need to justify myself to anyone. Right. So they put out an exclusive last night. Now, the reason why I'm giving this airtime is because you guys have contacted me in relation to it. Right. So I have to address it, because it's something that I said recently. And I think I'm answering a question for you guys at the same time. So it says exclusive. I'm going to read it word for word. We have been told by high-level LFC official, that should say officials or a official, the English is terrible, that the club will host special guests at the Merseyside derby in relation to the club's sale. Talks are progressing at a good pace despite what other media outlets are reporting. So, and that came out last night. And I think, I'm not sure, but in the run up to that, it was like, make sure you're here for this like massive news later. Come on, guys. If you've got anything to say, you say it. You don't say I'm going to tell it at 9 p.m. tonight. Sometimes, I'll be honest, I'll say on a night time, I'll say, right, guys, I've got something for you tomorrow. And the reason I would say that is because that's aimed at my community. I don't put this out there for everyone. It's aimed at the people that, follow me in my community, if you like. And then you'll see me do that at like 10, 11 at night. And I'll be like, I'm shattered. Like, we're not going to record a video at 11 o'clock or something like that, but I've got something for you in the morning, right? I prefer not to do that, to be honest, but sometimes when I'm beside myself with excitement, I'll say, I've got something for you tomorrow, guys, right? So when I do that, it's different to this. It's me saying, I'm off to bed, I'll tell you tomorrow. On the 23rd of January, I think it was, on the KopTalk members website, shout out to the members who support me, lovely people. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. You should be very grateful to each and every single one of them. On the 23rd of January 2023, I haven't got the post here in front of me, but we've discussed it on here multiple times since then. I said along the lines, I like to be specific, I'm not going to look for my post, but I said something along the lines of, I'm aware or informed or told or whatever that you should or we should keep an eye on a number of fixtures that are coming up to do with, and it was different to this, it was worded slightly different, to do with visitors, important people, visitors, not guests. The emphasis was on the word visitors when we've gone over this, right? So I, clutching, don't know, I'm thinking visitors makes it sound like they're coming from away, whereas guests, anyway, it really is a technicality. It's such a technicality, small technicality, that most people would read over it and wouldn't even think. But I can't explain to you how much I examine and analyse every single thing that's said to do with the club. Whether it's someone that... Sometimes someone will email me and I have no idea who they are. And I will still give that as much analysis as someone that I trust, because I don't know. It's what I do, innit? And I'm usually right. Sorry to say that, but I am. Sorry. So for those of you that don't watch me, that don't like me, I know you like spitting at the screen now, but it's true. So, and I aren't no ITK. Well, I'm the original ITK from the 1990s, if you must be. No, I'm not. I would never do that. But I think a lot of it is, and I'm completely honest about this, is analysis, intuition, experience, and common sense, really. Thrown in with the odd bit of info, and that's what I would say. So, I use the term visitors, and this ITK parody account, if you like, uses the word guest. And it's interesting because this account, I am told, has put quite a few things out that I hate to say that I've said recently, because it makes it sound like, oh, I'm that important. Yeah, I don't believe that. But there has been a few things, which is, a couple of members have commented on it, so it's interesting. Maybe not to you. So people were messaging last night saying, hey, Duncan, have you seen this lunatic, man? Right, have you seen what he's saying? He's saying exactly what you said. But I have to be very specific here. I didn't use the word guests, I used the word visitors, and I do think there's a difference. I might be looking into that too much. I also said, I also pointed out 3 games. I think one was Chelsea. I can't remember. I have a terrible, terrible, terrible memory. Not when it suits me. Like people go, yeah, it's convenient, you forgot. No, I genuinely, I can maybe remember something from years ago, but I can't remember something within the last few days. I could not, and I'm going to be deadly honest with you, off the top of my head, I can't tell you Liverpool last played. If I think about it for 30 seconds, 20 seconds, I'll remember. But whereas you can go, like, I can't. Now, I don't know if that's, something... It's nothing to do with football, and people in my family, they'll tell me stuff and they'll go, we told you. I go, I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. Should I go and see a doctor about that? Not about the Liverpool stuff. I do have some kind of memory loss issue, and I'm not taking the mickey. So, anyway, honestly, I'd sit there with my mates on a Friday and they'll go, what do you think about Liverpool's game overnight? Then I'll go, honestly, mental. But I think it was Chelsea, and it'll take me 10 minutes to remember, but I think it was Chelsea, and it was at Anfield anyway. Was it? See what I mean? But I do know, because it's not past tense yet, that that it also said Everton and Newcastle away. And the Newcastle away bit is different to the others, because when you are Liverpool Football Club and you've got a game at Anfield, you're hosting, right? So you can put on, you can do anything you want to make anyone feel special. And this happens at every single game, guys. Every single game. Different, you might be interested in signing a kid and maybe you've invited his mum and dad to come along. All legitimate things, or maybe it's business, or, if there's a, it's interaction, it's networking, right? But it's at different levels. So if someone was to message me every time Liverpool Football Club were hosting someone, we'd be talking about it in every video. Now, I don't want to be too specific here, but in terms of knowing people, I have and had, I'd rather say it like that, known people that work on reception, and I've known people or know people that work in the main, security, in terms of, letting you in the building if you're important or not, and they obviously see every single person that comes in and out. And we do have, a KopTalk member that was or is involved was involved in that, who still have friends in high places. So you do get to know these things. And when I used to go to Anfield when I was younger, back in the early days of KopTalk, I used to take a camera and I used to take it had quite a big lens, not like a newspaper, like ridiculous lens, but big enough to zoom in on the director's box, which would be bang opposite me, and I would take random pictures. This is how mental I was when I look back, really. But this is how much I loved KopTalk and beating the others to stuff. None of this like, I'll tell you at 9 o'clock tonight rubbish. No, I'm going to tell you now. And I would zoom right in on the director's box, bang opposite, and just take random pictures like that. It'd take 20 seconds, bang, 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 so not to annoy anybody, and carry on watching the game. I would, you wouldn't be able to really see on that little screen on the camera, so but when I got home 3 hours later, well, the drive was 3 hours, 4 hours later, say, no matter what time it was, I'd get the card reader and I'd zoom, can I recognise anyone, blah, blah, blah. These days, you do get the TV cameras doing this a lot. And if you know where to look, you can go online with the photo agencies and you can put search terms in to, when you get all these different photographers you see at the stadium, they're usually there with an agency maybe, or they may be independent, and they've usually got a website that you can go in and put, let's say, Liverpool Everton, change the date so that the most recent are shown, and then there'll be all the pictures from the game, all watermarks and stuff. It doesn't matter because you don't want any. And sometimes you can spot people, and I do a lot of that, And then obviously when I'm watching the game, I watch the games on, I live overseas now. I have no desire to go to Anfield anymore, right? Transparency. I'm just at a stage of my life where I don't really follow the top flight game like I do follow it like I used to. But I don't know. I get more enjoyment seeing my grandson play football for Scarborough under sevens or whatever they are. I love football, guys, right? But I'm not going to spend £1,000 going to go and see Liverpool, which is what it probably costs me for a weekend, taking someone with you, because I won't go on my own, obviously. Staying in hotels, food, flights, everything. It's just like, I've got more important things to spend my money on. And if I had £1,000 right now, that wouldn't be what I'd be spending it on. But don't let that think that I don't care. I care immensely, but I care more about you guys, being happy with things. It doesn't matter. I talk about it all the time. But when I watch the games on the TV, I always, when I feel that there might be, when I'm told that this is a bit more important, that there might be someone there, I will watch I will not go to the loo, I won't move from, I'll make sure I don't miss a single picture. And the good thing is, if you've got access to a motorised dish, I've got one on the side of my house up here, and if you can find a stream back to the studio, you can often find the feeds, the different cameras and things before they're broadcast on TV. That's how obsessive I've been over the years. And so I will pay specific attention. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this, but Liverpool, the clique of journalists that I refer to, and many of you do as well now. There's that group of journalists. Some are worth listening to, some aren't. And they're all pals, and they all have the same style. And this is where I think it's very suspicious. This is when you know someone's in a clique, because if you've got 10 journalists and they say they're Liverpool fans, and they've all got the same opinion. I find that bizarre. So they've got the same opinion in the writing style, they've got the same information that they're putting out, the same claims, but they've all got the same opinion. I find that strange, because if I pick 9 of you and we sit round a couple of tables in a pub and we debate in Liverpool, I guarantee we're all going to have, well, we won't have, every one of us have a different opinion, but there will be a divide somewhere in that group of 10. So when you see all these journalists, this is what you should do. If you're a diehard and you're reading everything about Liverpool, I'm not talking about on Poxy blogs and things like that. I'm talking about these people that are paid to do this for a living, right? That think there's something. You need to analyse it and just think, yeah, he's saying exactly the same as him. That's convenient, isn't it? Anyway, that's another thing. Why are we talking about them? Oh, so after a Liverpool home game, right, is when you tend to, and from my experience, see things come out. If it's really, really big, maybe that evening. So you might get something come out at 11 o'clock that same night, Saturday night, Sunday night, something like that. If it's something that's relatively interesting, it might come out on the Monday. There is a pattern to these things, and that's because you've got people going to the games and they're talking, like the fans, when we're in our ordinary peasant seats, right, we're just talking to each other. How are you doing? All right, yeah, what do you think about it? We're just talking, and nothing exciting there, yeah? Have you been, you know what I'm saying? I was going to be rude then, but I'm not allowed to be on YouTube at the minute. They're telling me off. My videos at the moment, all of them are getting flagged. I win every appeal. Yesterday, I think I've got a video from yesterday or 2 days ago that's still not been approved. So it's got a couple of thousand views on it maybe, but it's not monetized, and they're skanking me. And really, I should restrict my videos until they approve them, but if you guys keep supporting me, maybe we're all right. I hate YouTube at the moment. That'll get flagged, won't it? But in the important bits, the important people, that are mingling and sitting down and that, and having a bite to eat and a beer, all at different levels of importance and rank. So you've got your small sponsors, your big sponsors, and it's up to the not the club ambassadors. They mingle around and do all their stuff, not them. But we're talking when you get right up the chain and you get to speak to a chief executive at a football club, for example. You'd be lucky if you find one at Liverpool at the moment. People might talk and say, so what do you think about buying them? Then do you think, well, between me and you, Dave, like, we don't think, and that is, all right, okay. Then he goes and sits down. And I was talking to him and he was saying, and before you know it, that's how things spread. And there is intentional leaking as well. So, there is times when journalists are told things off the record. These journalists, the good ones, Paul Joyce, for example, I bet he knows a lot more than what's going on out there, Anyway, so, because I know that because I've had journalists before say to me, many years ago I was approached by a journalist that still writes about Liverpool Football Club, that writes for a major English, British, whatever you want to call it, publication, and they said to me, I can't put this is how I learnt about it. This was when I was younger, because I just thought a journalist prints everything, right? And obviously they have off the record. We've heard of the term off the record, and this particular person said to me, I can't say this, Dunk, but maybe I could give it to you, and you could put it out through the members' website and stuff like that, So there's many things that they would like to get out, but they can't. And if they're not a Liverpool fan, they're not bothered. But if they're a Liverpool fan, trust me, they're itching to tell you something, right? Because it's in your blood. When I get told something over the years, so I've had some real big things said to me over the years, and and people will go, but you can't say anything, Duncan. You just can't. And it's the most difficult thing in the world, because I've got the members on there supporting me, and I was like, if I tell you, you're going to love it, but then we're going to lose that source of lots of other things, and it's difficult. So I used to do a lot of, changing my profile picture, but I had to be careful because a lot of these people were on the members' website, or are. Let's stick with were and are, past tense and present, then we're not saying who people are. But it's not nice. And can I just say right now, I do not do hints on Twitter, all right? So people sometimes say to me, they'll send a member, have you seen what Dunk's put on his Twitter? I would not do that. I'm not into that. I don't want to do the hinting and that. You know, the other day someone said Duke's got dancing Arabs on his on his Twitter. I was like, yeah, but it's a preview for the Saturday night stream, right? Because we will be talking, it's like just having a laugh and a joke. So I wouldn't do that. And I can assure you, if I had anything of interest to say, it would be on the members' website, first, foremost, and always, and most of the time, not public. Going back to this is all over the place, but I'm trying to educate people as well, you know, in a non-patronising way. All right, yes, so I said, no, I didn't actually say that. So on the 23rd of January, I did say to watch those games. We didn't hear anything after the first game, which I think might have been Chelsea. I still can't remember. It was Everton, which, in my opinion, would be the important one, right? Because that is like, the atmosphere is going to be rocking. You know, like, if you were wanting to, come on, if you wanted to impress anyone, if you were taking a new chick or something like that to the football, she'd like, I've never been to see Liverpool. Oh, come on, I'll take you to a game. Really? Yeah, of course I will, yeah. Right? Well, actually, you might not want to take it to Liverpool Everton because she might leave you before you've even got a draws off. You know what I mean is she might be scared. There's a picture of me at Anfield that was in all the newspapers years ago. And my missus is sat next to me. It was the first time she'd ever been to see Liverpool play. She's a Tottenham fan. Well, see, I like to be specific. She's still my missus. She's still my wife, but we're not. You know what I mean? Like, we speak every day, but we're not. The picture's still there, is what I'm saying, right? But she's not been here for a while because she works overseas and stuff. And we're not. It doesn't matter. But when I say missus, that's who I'm referring to, right? Listen to the Dunk Knows Best podcast if you want all that guff. And there's a picture. She'd never been before. She's a Tottenham fan, and my seats at Anfield, 6 rows back, right? Brilliant seats, right at the action, right? And Tottenham score, and who was it? That Raphael, whatever his name was, I can't see what I mean. And he weren't a big lad, and he celebrates like this, and he's running right past me, and I'm out of my seat, and I'm like, and it's like, still, you know, obviously it's a still, it's a photograph, and you can see her sat next to me in pink. And she's like that. And they've scored. Her team scored, right? So she should be like this, yeah? But she's like that. Terrified. If you see the picture, it's amazing. It's great. I've got it blown up here. Man, we should put it up there. I wonder if it'll cover that with mint, wouldn't it? Should we get it up there? So she should be on the seat going, yay! But she's surrounded by this mob, especially me. I'm out of my seat. I've got the guy in front of me. I've got my hands on his shoulder. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was in all the papers, and she's terrified. I must find that picture for you if you've not seen it. It's really, really good. Why am I talking about that? I'm enjoying this video. I like it. I like it when I go all over with my videos. I don't care the people that come on here and go, get to the point. No. I refuse. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it. I like talking about things and that. It's mint, isn't it? Yeah, and I've got a really good video from the same seats, obviously. My little Rob, when we scored a free kick against Manchester United, right in front of the Kop, and we got absolutely mad. I love it, man. I love it. I do miss going to football, I'll be honest, I do. When I say to you, I'm not bothered about going, if I could afford it to do that, I'd be there all the time, you know. I would. But those days are gone. I think I'm approaching, you know, my older years, 50 in a couple of years. And someone said on the other day, you're 2 years or 50. Wow. Now, I don't know how to take that. Is he meaning I look 60? Or is he meaning I look 40? I'd like some clarification. Probably 60, to be honest. I haven't been very good. I don't care if I got a face for radio or not. I ever had a problem with the chicks, trust me. So, let's get back to what we're talking about. So I said them 3 games. The Newcastle game is very important because I immediately think that's what we were saying. The home games, everyone's mingling. The news comes out after the games, after the home games, you know, depending on the level of importance and excitement as to when you see that. Maybe not all the time, but there is a pattern. When Liverpool play a home game, you, right now, should be on your phone on the night time and the next day looking for all that news to do with investment and stuff like that, because that's the thing we're all interested in, right? Trust me on this. When them games finish, I'm like, refresh. Now, checking my emails, no one's messaged, nothing. And it'll just break like that, guys. DKB. So, Newcastle away. We can't host at Newcastle. Is a visitor, not a guest, a visitor really going to be part of the travelling party to Newcastle? Don't be so ridiculous. That's not going to happen. Very, very unlikely. So why Newcastle away? Is it not? There is that club is owned by Middle East, individuals, people, or whatever. I'm clutching here. My own personal opinion regarding that Everton game and the previous game and the future game at Newcastle. I haven't forgot what I was going to say. I was just how I was going to word it, because I know we're playing Real Madrid, and I was just thinking maybe some of you think, wouldn't that be a good game? No, because it would be obvious. Anyway, my personal opinion before any of these three fixtures, going back to the 23rd of January, was someone interested in Liverpool Football Club, and I'm clutching, I can't prove it, it's just intuition. No, it's not even intuition. It's not intuition. Maybe it's hope. But what I could see happening was someone that's sniffing around, might not be the actual people, but could be people, intermediaries or whatever, would attend the Everton game and then would go on to Newcastle as well for, a possible meeting with people that have bought the club there, or people involved in the process. It's networking. Oh, I'm representing whoever, or I am whoever, possibly interested in buying a football club in England. I'll be attending this high-profile fixture while I'm in the country. It would make sense, maybe. I'm going to spend a few days. I'm going to be over with the chick. We're going to be getting it on for a few days. But then I was thinking we could come up there, see you guys. What do you think? Absolutely, we'd love you to come down, and show you the. I don't know. It's just what I think. I don't know if I'll be right or not. Often when I do think these things, it does happen. So we'll have to wait and see. But you shouldn't be disheartened if after this game at Everton you hear nothing, because they do everything they can to make sure you don't know. If I thought putting something out would damage something, I would make, I would probably wouldn't say it in the first place. I do try and be responsible sometimes. And you might say, anyone listens to you, I can assure you they listen to me. And I've had letters from Liverpool Football Club in the past about that, and conversations, admittedly not in recent times, because, the people that had it in for me really at the club are not there now. And that's why we do, if you like videos like this is why you should be a channel member, because we do keep some things a bit more low key. Anyway, there's nothing groundbreaking about this. This is just speculating, right? So, and I also pointed out, right, I said visitors, not guests. And I have to be honest, I didn't pinpoint one game. I said 3 games. But my personal opinion would be the Everton game. And I also didn't say it was in relation to the club sale. Could be anything. And this adds talks are progressing at a good pace despite what other media outlets are reporting. I'm certainly not claiming that. So this ITK account, this parody account, this for fun account is of zero interest to me. Why are you reading it then? I'm reading it because people have come to me and said, have you seen what someone said online, because this is what you said last month. So, and I'm like, well, who's that? And that's why I mentioned it to you. So I know for a fact that some of you will be thinking the same thing, and I wanted to address that today. And I also saw a comment on here from a few days ago, which I haven't replied to yet, that said, do we know if anything could still be happening around that Everton game? So this is why I am taking the time to respond to this whole scenario. You should only follow these accounts for a bit of fun. You'd be absolutely I'm trying to comment without offending anyone. I would like to think we've got a certain level of intelligence within our community. I know we do have on the members website. No one would ever mention anything to do with that, with class it as credible. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I hope I've I've just seen another ITK account, right? These self-appointed ITK accounts talking about the next, this month, and got, they think something big's gonna. It's just like, just stop it. Just stop it. Right. There is another. There was another video I wanted to make for you today, but I'm not sure I'm going to get time to do it. It's actually approaching midday now, which means it's 7 minutes off, right, from eating. I know they're going to look rubbish. Meatballs. That is better than any woman. Oh, any woman. Oh, right. I'm off. Saturday, I'm doing a stream on here, 7:30 PM UK. We had a lot of people come and support that stream last Saturday. I couldn't believe it. Amazing. Jesus, they're amazing. So we had a lot of new faces, which was nice. I'd love you to come along. And we do talk about football early in the evening. And but I'll be honest with you, it's more of a community thing, like we like to have a drink and some music and have a laugh. And it's the highlight of my week, to be honest with you. Maybe that means I live a sad life. I'm having a sad life right now. Oh my God, they're amazing. So, see you later. Fuck man, that's amazing. Oh, I said a bad word. YouTube will tell me off. YouTube keep penalising my videos, so if you want to support me, you can become a member in the video description. My VIP members, like my channel members, podcast patrons. There's even a thanks button now, I think. I don't know how it works. And I want to give a shout out to everyone that does back me. Now, I'm not a top rate. I'm not on any kind of payroll anywhere. If I was, I'd have a new kitchen, I think. My kitchen downstairs is alright. This is just very Spanish and traditional. But yeah, I do appreciate people that support me. You've got no idea. I don't get a notification when someone becomes a channel member on here. YouTube don't tell me. There's a list, but they don't email you, which bothers me. But when someone becomes a VIP member, I get it flash up on my phone, and I've got no idea how happy that makes me. Survival, innit, guys? You know what I mean? February's awful. You know what? You might believe me or not believe me about whether I'm here to make money. I'm here to make money. But that's where I'm like some of these football club owners. I want people that do it for the passion, and money's secondary. Money for me, like, is about survival. You know what I mean? It's about survival. Paying the bills. I don't push betting affiliation on Twitter or anything to anybody. I don't say anything on Twitter, I don't think. Well, I don't. I suppose I push the members' content and stuff when I need to. I was going to have one of them and go and eat them. If I dropped the lottery, or I'll rephrase that, when I dropped the lottery, I wouldn't change. You know when people say it wouldn't change me, it'd change me because I'd look after people. Well, if I had 10 million in the bank now, I'd still be stood here eating these meatballs with you. And that's why you've got to look at these accounts for motive as to why they exist. You know? There's a YouTuber on here called Naylor. He does all Liverpool videos and that. Young lad compared to me. He does support my content. If he ever becomes, if it's ever possible to, become a member of his channel or something, I'd be all over it. I like Adam. He's a nice kid. And you can tell it's passion. You can tell his objective is that. Because there's nothing wrong with having a fancy studio. They look great. They do. And there's nothing wrong with selling merch. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But it's why? Why are you doing that? Like, I remember years ago, these American investors, oh my God, American investors, chap from New York wanted to buy KopTalk, right? And they flew me to Sweden. Me and Maria, first wife. We got married at Anfield, the stadium, me and Maria. KopTalk's actually called KopTalk because of her. It was her idea when I was thinking of a name for it. Last one, gutted. And they said to me, one night, I attended this presentation of this guy from New York. He had the flat cap on, typical New Yorker, you know. He looked like some out of The Sopranos, actually. And I was, we were out at the night time. We went out for a drink. Me, Maria, the guy with all the money, lots and lots of money. I would have been very rich overnight, really. Idiot. And and the guy that set it all up was there as well. And I was stood at the bar listening to them talk, and they said to me, at the time, I was really close with, Tommy Smith, the former Liverpool captain, European Cup winner, defender, friend. He helped me a lot, did poor old Tommy. And I had all the other players working for me as well. And I had a big, the dogs woke up, I had a big following. And I'll never forget this to this day. They said, when I say they were interested in buying the website, I would have still had to run the website because the website is me. It's amazing how many people in business over the years that have tried to, they get involved, and they always say brand dunk. They always say, remember brand? Yeah. Can you believe that? And They said to me, like your members or whatever you would call it at the time, subscribers, I don't know, it's going back a long time. They said, because of your following, because of the interest in the website, because of what you do, you know, if we do this deal, you know, you'd be able to exploit them. And they continued his sentence. And the word exploit stayed in my mind. And I was so defensive. And the other thing that bothered me at the time was they said, you know, if you want to do something with the website, you come to us and we'll tell you if you can do it or not. And that got my back up as well. So I'm like, what I did? No. And I didn't like so the people like you that are watching this video for the right reasons, that enjoy my content, you know, the good people out there, not the ones that are watching that don't care about me or that dislike me. I'm talking about the people out there that, like, whether you're whether you support what I do financially or not, whether you're a member or not, is what I mean. If you're just watching this video, the people that took time out yesterday to comment on that video about my mum and that experience with Liverpool fans, you know, why in WA, they wanted me to exploit them people that have been supportive and good to me. And that was American business for you. I'm sure that applies to all business, you know, whatever country you're from. But that's what they saw. They just saw exploiting, and we're going to do this. And you've got, like, I've never had a database of people. You know, they'll always say, get a mailing list. Send news to people. That's how KopTalk started, as a mailing list, but it was because I used to send out news. But when you go to a website, they want your email address so they can sell to you, right? They've got a database, and then they can tell how many. They tell other businesses, oh, we've got 300,000 people on this list, and we can push your product on them. Now, I've never done that, which is probably why I'm always on here saying, can you get me a drink on Saturday? But I've never, I couldn't, how can you exploit good, ordinary people, the majority of which watching this video are probably like me, just down to earth. You know, you try and pay your bills and you try and do nice things and things like that. How can you look at people as just a number or something? I couldn't do that. And when I was getting hated on big time back in the day, I hated the whole Liverpool thing. You know, they ruined Istanbul, you know, the success in Istanbul, because that's when they were really hating me. And I think we put a plane on for that. I think we did. I think I had a huge, you know, jumbo jet for that game. We certainly did for the other final. But and I remember the company approaching me saying, we can get your people there. What, you know, how much would you want us to give you to do this if you sell tickets on it? And me being me, I just went, I don't want any money for it, but if you give me some free seats on the flight, I can do a competition for someone. And the guy, the Liverpool fan, he would have been a member, I'll have offered it on the members website or something. He was able to take his dad, who was also a Liverpool fan, on this private chartered big jumbo because of me. And that gave me so much satisfaction. You know, maybe they would have given me £1,000, £2,000, 500 quid, I don't know. But this lad was messaging me going, I'm so grateful, you know, we would never have been able to go on. I've took my old fella, and it's just like stuff like that for me. I find that very rewarding. But at the time, I hated the whole thing because I was being hated on immensely. They were targeting my kids and my family. That certain type of supporter that still exists, it's still out there, trust me. And I remember thinking at the time, why didn't I just take that money when it was offered to me more than once? Because I hated everyone and everything to do with the club at the time. They'd made me so unhappy and so sad. And I look back sometimes, I think, wonder what would have happened if I took that, you know, that money. That sounded like I said $1 million then. It was more than $1 million. Just over. Would I have been happy? The way I look at it is, I mean, all these, and I'm going to say 25 years later or whatever, I'm still here, just. But we've got through it, and I'm happy. You know what I mean? Like I've done all right with it, especially at the beginning when the big companies were throwing monies around and that, throwing money around. I wonder where all that money went, but you know, our family at the time, my family at the time, we'd never had money like that in the family, so I just looked after everyone really. I look back and wish I'd saved it, but we're still here, and you know, people put nice comments in the videos, and those that support you do, that can, you know, and those that are here for negative reasons, they just drop in and drop out. We're not bothered about them, are we, guys? So no, I don't think I've got any regrets really. Because it would have been different, wouldn't it? We wouldn't be stood in the kitchen now, would we, having an informal chat and that. And I don't think I'd change that for the world. We got very deep there. I don't know if that's the meatballs that slowed me down a bit, because I was very excited in that video. They were incredible there. They were amazing. And honestly, don't cook's best. Right, I suppose we're going to do some work. Please read the video description. It does tell you how you can, you know, if you enjoy my videos and you're in a position to support me, you know, I would love to have you on board, especially on the members website. I love the channel members on here because they get to interact with me and I spend a lot of time on here. The reason why I say the members website is because, you know, that's where I am all day and all night. You know, we talk on there all day and all night. And, but I understand some people can't do that. You know, they haven't got time for that. We've all got different levels of, you know, time or whatever. And I should say as well that you don't have to be a member to be a part of our chat room that's live right now on your tablets, on your mobile phones, on your desktop, your laptop. All you have to do is open up your web browser and go to T for Telegram, t.me/KopTalk chat, one word, right? t.me/KopTalk chat. And that should prompt you to download Telegram, which is like WhatsApp but better. And you can join our live chat. So when this video goes live, I post it in there. For example, there's people in there all the time talking about the investment and finding news, and they're dropping it in there. Members and non-members, everybody's welcome. You've got privacy settings so no one sees your number or anything like that. You can mute it so you don't get disturbed, and you can leave at any time. And I don't make a penny out of it. But I do get, you know, the option to talk to you guys, which is very nice. And also t.me/KopTalk news will then give you news alerts as well. So those are the two links, t.me/KopTalk chat, and the other one is KopTalk news, and you'll get the news alerts. And you also get the ability to chat with, you know, familiar names in the comments on here. And there's no nonsense on there, you know. I won't tolerate that. So I think I've said enough today. I think that's enough videos. I've got news flashing up on my phone, and yeah, we'll speak later, guys. Thanks very much. Please do give me a thumbs up. Remember, a comment costs nothing, and I do appreciate all the support that you give me. Keep an eye on the Everton game, and we'll regroup after that. But don't be disappointed if nothing comes out. It doesn't mean anything. We just got to hope maybe we hear something in February, and maybe we will still see something this week of a more positive nature. I don't mean for 1 minute. I don't agree that talks are progressing well with anyone, which is claimed on the ITK account. But yeah, it was 23rd of January, I did say to keep an eye on that game. So, all right, guys. All right, guys. All right, guys. All right, guys. Ooh. All right, guys. I'll speak to you later.